What's up, everybody? Jordan Stewart here from Vover. Thanks so much for tapping into the Vover original show. Just a reminder that if you want to drop your opinions about the episode or respond to the host and guests with your voice, go and download the Vover app wherever you get your apps. Vover, voice over everything. Enjoyed the show.
What's going on, Vover Pop, and welcome to another edition of the Titans After Show. I am your host, Regular Scott, and this week, Titans gets back on track. This is a good episode. Things seem to get back on the upward swing. You know, it took a little lull after Hank died. The last couple of episodes were, seemed like they were just kind of treading water, getting through the story instead of really progressing the story. This one felt like it was progressing the story and moving things forward. So this was a good episode. Let's jump right into things. We got to meet a new villain, Lady Vic. She's introduced right at the beginning of the episode. She's an old school Nightwing villain, so this will be interesting. We see she has a connection with Barbara and Dick Grayson, and that happens later on in the episode, but we're introduced to her right off the bat and see what she can do. She takes out two cops very easily, very quickly. We're then introduced to a burglar who Dick Grayson, as Robin at the time, is watching steal and commit these heists in these different museums and whatnot, and they have a little hand-to-hand skirmish, and we find out that it's none other than Barbara Gordon, who is just being a thief just because, for no other reason than just to be a thief, which is, it's a crazy, because my first initial reaction was, oh, wow, they're going to have Selena Kyle? Dick Grayson's going to go get Selena Kyle? She's about to give him the hands, isn't she? And actually, it's Barbara Gordon, and I think that was interesting. I didn't see that coming. I probably should have, but I didn't. And it's just interesting that the route that they're taking with some of the characters, Barbara Gordon is now the Catwoman, the Selena Kyle, which even Dick Grayson alludes to, of this universe. And she does it with ease, and she says she does it just to keep her father on his toes. And she apparently knows Dick Grayson is Robin, and she knows Bruce is Batman, but she's not Batgirl, so that's a weird dynamic. So I wonder if in this universe, Jim Gordon knows, all the secrets and whatnot. Who doesn't know who Batman is at this point? Like, how many people really know who this guy is? Like, this is getting a bit ridiculous. And she's not even a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, she's not even a part of the group. So it's a very weird dynamic there that people are able to just be a part of this. During the scene where, or after they do that, they go to a bar. Barbara and Dick have a nice little conversation. Points for having The Way in the background. Really good song, classic song. Check that out, by the way, if you don't know what that is. The Way, it's a really good song. It was cool seeing that dynamic, that chemistry. They go about talking about stealing things, and now Dick Grayson is this master thief who just goes around stealing stuff. Man, Dick Grayson's not my guy, man. That's my favorite character, and this is not that guy. This is a very different interpretation of Dick Grayson than what we normally get. And then we get a little interaction with Blackfire and Superboy, who seem to, I can't tell if there is a sexual tension there or if there is an admiration there, because they can sense each other's power. Blackfire mentions she can sense the Kryptonian or see the Kryptonian blood flowing through him, so she knows how powerful he is. And maybe there's an attraction there. Maybe she's like, wow, you're a pretty powerful dude, and I like that. And I kind of feel like he feels the same about her. He's drawn to her. You could tell he's definitely intrigued. There's an interesting dynamic there. I'm a biracial guy, so I'm all about my biracial relationships. So bring it on. That'd be two in the same. That'd be two on the same team. That's pretty impressive. I had said at the beginning that I thought Blackfire would probably end up being the big bad of the season, but the way it's going, unless she hits a big heel turn, later on down the road, it looks like she's just going to kind of be the misfit who has a hard time fitting in and is going to do something really noble at the end to fit in. I really thought she was going to turn out to be the big bad. Maybe she still does, but it's just looking like she's going to be, the hard nose that has a hard time fitting in, which is fine because she actually, her being the straight nose, straight face plays really well comedic wise with everyone else. It works really well, and it's a very different contrast to Starfire. So I actually like what's going on there. Scarecrow seems to be building like a cult-like unit. He's got Lady Vic, he's got Red Hood. So this is an interesting dynamic. I like this version of Scarecrow as far as building this team. I think it's really cool. It builds up Scarecrow and makes him more dynamic and makes him more dangerous, that he's able to control these dangerous people who could kill him just at a moment's notice, with ease. So it's interesting, it's cool, and it's a powerful notion to see this guy manipulate all these people to do his bidding, and we don't even know what he has over Lady Vic. We clearly see that Jason Todd's addicted to this serum that makes him not fear anything, so Crane has it. He has the potential to keep making it and making different doses of it, so that's why he's got Jason Todd under his thumb. And maybe the serum is making him have to obey what he says too, so we don't know exactly what's in the serum. We're still going to figure that out. But I like this cult thing that's going on with Scarecrow kind of leading this team. And we see that Barbara and Dick went to go steal some things from a museum and run into Lady Vic and one of her, I guess her boyfriend or whoever that is exactly. But whoever he is, he meant a lot to her. And she slices Barbara's leg. For a minute there, I thought maybe she was going to go ahead and cut that thing off because I don't see no other leg, and I think she's only got one leg. And now that hasn't been confirmed either. Some people have been telling me that maybe her legs are crossed. I think she's only got one leg, and that's why she's in the wheelchair. So I thought it was coming off, and maybe it still might. But and then she ends up stopping her from killing Dick, and she ends up throwing it into whoever that guy is. Maybe it's family, I don't know. And so then that's kind of why she comes back, and she waits 6 years, which is really weird in and of itself too. And then we come to find out she knows who Bruce is too. So everybody knows who Bruce Wayne is. Everybody knows he's Batman. But nobody just wants to show up at his house. Like, why not just show up at that dude's crib in the middle of the day and be like, "Yo, what up?" You know what I mean? Like, if everybody knows he's Batman. So I don't like that aspect. It's an annoying thing that everybody just casually knows Bruce is Batman. Like, I would have outed that guy. You know what I mean? We have Gar getting pissed at Dick Grayson for going off, doing exactly what Hank did, and almost getting himself killed. He got the bullet put through him from the sniper in the last episode. And we even see him get angry enough where the green that he has in the comics and in the TV, in the cartoons, kind of took over and that was his natural color, his natural face. He was all green. He was animal. He was Beast Boy. It was cool. It looked all right. I'd like him to stay in human form and maybe use that when he's, maybe that's the form he uses when he's in combat and he needs to continuously transition to different animals and he needs to stay in the green form. I'd be okay with that. But I'd like for him to stay in the human form because I've gotten used to it. But I like what Beast Boy did there. I like that Beast Boy's really been the kind of the heart and the foundation, the moral compass, just the solid person for everyone at some point to kind of either get to talking to or just be able to lean on at some point. In these first few episodes, he's really kind of held it down and not done anything. He really hasn't done anything, but he's been a part of everything, which is, it's interesting because he's so powerful in his own right. He's so dynamic. He can do so many things. So this Superboy Blackfire relationship continues to heat up as the episode goes on. So that's something to keep an eye on there. Barbara is, we don't get a confirmation if she's become Batgirl or not, because she gets hurt here. She hasn't taken the mantle. It's interesting. I'm curious to see what happens there. Lady Vic ends up setting Barbara Gordon up. Lady Vic sends Barbara a message that was recorded of Bruce, and it says, don't tell Dick, come to where it started. So everybody knows where it started. Everybody knows, who Batman is, how his parents died, and everybody that works for him. They know Robin is, the whole clique. I mean, like, Lady Vic has to be just some random person. Like, she's no top tier villain, and she knows who all these people are. So everybody has to know who Batman and the whole Bat family is. Like, now that's ridiculous. That is, I am a fan of this show, but that is a huge plot hole. Like, how can just everybody know? That's ridiculous. But all right, anyway. It's just hard to look past that every time. The more I think about it, it's just, anyway, she shows up and Lady Vic and her have a duel, and Barbara is able to fight her off in the wheelchair with pretty much with ease, with no issue. She didn't even get hit really, and she fights her off. She gets a picture of her face. She runs away. Dick Grayson shows up. As soon as he shows up, she's like, "All right, well, I'm good on the escort. Don't need you now," and so that's the end of that. This was a pretty heavy Barbara Gordon episode. We got a little bit more fleshed out of her backstory, her and Dick's backstory, her and Dick's kind of their escapades when they were younger, which was cool to see. And then the episode wraps up with Jason Todd giving away some of Crane's medicine, or some of the serum, the drugs that he's got him hooked on. And when he does that, one of the people goes into Tim Drake's restaurant, who we met at the beginning of the season, and they shoot his dad. And it seems like this is how Tim Drake's going to get initiated into the family. I just wonder if it's going to be he's going to try to get revenge on his own, and he's going to get stopped by a Dick Grayson, who's going to try to bring him to the light and train him, and he brings him in as the new Robin. Or does he go to the dark side and go under Jason Todd? And maybe that's how Jason Todd gets back good, as he saves Tim Drake at the end. I am curious now to see how Tim Drake plays out with the Bat family and in this whole dynamic now, because part of me thinks he's going to want revenge, but he's a pretty stout believer in Batman and what Batman's beliefs and values were. So I don't know if he's going to lean that far into it. They've done a good job. I'm hooked. I'm intrigued. I'm excited for next week. I feel like this really got back to how things should be. This got back on track. Tim Drake is now involved in the story. I mean, he's fully involved, and Jason Todd is 100% the cause of that. Whatever comes to this attack in the restaurant, that's on Jason Todd. Hank's death is on Jason Todd. He's got a lot of bodies on his hands right now, and he has to be stopped. I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to next week. That's all I got for this week. This is a good episode. 7 out of 10 for me. You can find me on Twitter at knee4Marvel vs. DC. That's the number 4. You can also find me on the Vover app at Regular Scott. And as always, y'all have a good time, because we're going to have a good time. Until we talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Vover.